Okay, here we are. Terry Combs. It is the top of the hour, and we have another Ask the DTG Expert series. This is a webinar presented by Equipment Zone, hosted by us, and we're thrilled to be here. I'm Jay Bassell, the Director of Marketing, and he is Terry Combs, the expert. He's the guy you want to ask when you have a question. Terry, how's it going?
It's going great, Jay. Excited to do yet another of these DTG Experts webinars, plus all the other webinars that we've been doing, and we have a lot of great webinars on the schedule for coming very, very soon. So excited for that as well.
We do indeed, and we're grateful for those of you who've tuned in today. And we are recording this session, so that means it will be posted on our YouTube channel soon. We'll talk about our YouTube channel at the end of this session, but there are lots of, like you said, great product at marketing, technical training videos. There's lots of good stuff on our YouTube channel. We invite everybody to go over there and subscribe, and we'll share a little bit of how to do that at the end. But this session is about you, Mr. Combs, as the expert, because here we go again. We hear all these crazy questions, and I'm like, Terry, have you ever heard this before? And you're like, oh yeah, like 1,000 times.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
and why would this be any different? So let's get kicking. I've got some screens and some slides to share. So we welcome everybody again. This is our Equipment Zone Ask the DTG Expert series. And today's topic, drum roll please, can I print more than just t-shirts? Because Terry, I don't know if you know this, but I heard and I read that somebody from the internet once said, somebody said something, that t-shirts and hoodies is all about you can print. That's about it. That's about all I'm going to get out of this fancy DTG machine. How many times have you heard something a little bit, a version of that, Terry?
Jay, I've even heard the more narrow question of, I see you guys are only printing white and black t-shirts. Is that all you can print? No, we can print the red and the blue.
Oh, based on the only two samples we had in the moment? Oh my goodness.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And Jay, when you talk about this, yes, I've heard this question or that question 100,000 times. We certainly don't want to offend, because
no.
All those folks that are asking this question again weren't standing there the last time we explained it, or the time before that. So this is our opportunity to say, we know many of you have these questions, so let us, we'll do a little webinar, multiple webinars, and talk about these repeating questions, so that obviously, if somebody walks up to us and asks this question again and again and again, then many people out there have that exact same question. So we love to be here answering questions for everyone. And yes, by the way, you can print more than t-shirts.
Okay, so groundbreaking news right here. We heard it from the expert first. The reality, the facts, the science has said, yes, we can print more than just t-shirts. And Terry, this is interesting because I got so excited about this session because it rekindled a lot of memories we've had over the last 3 years for me, and I'm sure for you more than that, but specifically working with the Equipment Zone team and looking back on other examples of things that we've done. And I was kind of inspired because I had recently read, and I'm going to share it on my screen right now. Some folks may not be familiar with ASI, Advertising Specialty Institute. The ASI folks are in the promotional product world. There are I like to call them our dysfunctional cousins. They put the fun in promo, and they have this search tool that a lot of folks use, and so they track it. So this was as of the end of last year, the top 100 searches that those folks that are selling promotional items were searching for. And so it's pens and tote bags and bags, and you can go through. I'm not going to read the all 100. I'll save you that energy and that grief. But t-shirts came up as number 14 on the list. And last year obviously was bananas. And so I know from previous information from this group and other groups, apparel on a broader context is usually in the top category, and t-shirts is usually inside of that top category if you break down what is apparel. And so this got us thinking, Terry. This got us thinking about, well, maybe there's a list we could create. And so guess what we did? And I can see that you must be having some fun at the homestead. Somebody's either delivering something or you have some of your coworkers that are creating a ruckus. So I'm going to keep going and you jump in when you're ready. There he is.
I think we're good because yes, in fact, apparently either FedEx or UPS has come and rung the doorbell, and my alarm system, two dogs have freaked out at the door. I could hear beyond my double doors here from my office them being corralled and ushered outside.
That's hilarious. And in real life, because I've got one here, Roy, and he can be a rabble rouser. But the truth is that we thought, right, we could break this down and maybe come up with our own. I don't know if we would say they're the top 25. That might not be the perfect way to frame it. That's how we started. And I gotta say, Terry, I don't know that this is in any real order. So if you would have recategorized it, you could have easily talked me out of whatever's at the bottom of the list. Could have easily been moved up. We're not really ranking these. Wouldn't you say that's fair?
Well, yeah, exactly, Jay. And a big part of that is the fact that it depends on your niche in the marketplace. Your number one is different than my number one is different than their number one because of who you're selling to, or you and I love those niche markets, and so your niche market might be very, very narrow on 2 or 3 or 5 products, and maybe it's narrow on 3 products, and today we might suggest a couple of other products that you can mix into to your offerings. And Jay, in this as of this conversation live, there are shortages out there of a lot of products, and you and I were just working on an article about that subject, and one of the points that we came up with was, hey, make sure you broaden your offerings a little bit. Maybe if that color of t-shirt isn't available, maybe there's a hoodie over here that's available that customer would like just as much. So
I love that. That's a great tie-in, Terry. Perfect reason to have this conversation, really. Because you got to be flexible, right? In today's world.
Exactly right, Jay. And we're going to talk about lots of different things, or we're going to cherry pick some things. Let me rephrase.
Yeah, right. Perfect.
We're not going to go down our entire list of things that we came up with, but I do want people to realize that number one tip to make money with the DTG printer, and when I say make money, be efficient, sell a profitable product, but use your direct-to-garment printer for what it's meant to be used for. There are many uses that you might not be aware of, and we're going to talk about some of those today. But on the flip side of that, use a little caution. This doesn't mean that a DTG printer is made to print everything. And Jay, you might recall when we used to do those live day-long DTG sessions all over the country, I would always say, if I wanted to print a phone case with my DTG printer, I could put maybe some pre-treat on there to give it something to bond to. I could do the lightest lay down of CMYK I possibly could. I could use a hair dryer to dry that. I could go to Lowe's or Ace Hardware or Home Depot and get some kind of an acrylic finish spray and spray on that phone case. And my gosh, I've got a decorated phone case. It only took me about 40 minutes to do that one phone case, but by gosh, I did it. Or I could have decorated a phone case the way that you're supposed to by using sublimation. But so is there any profit in me doing that? Absolutely not. So what we want to talk about are products that you can decorate that are also in that category of these are great for DTG, and this is what this machine is made to print.
I love that. That's a great way to frame it, and to always be thinking as a business owner should, which is return on investment, which is looking at the profit, which is paying attention to the time I've invested. There are going to be projects where you're going to lose money, but it's still going to be worth it because you gained experience. You've learned the printer. You've learned where the boundaries are of how far you can go. And you might be willing to lose a little bit of money if you're maybe using this for marketing purposes. So maybe it's not even always about the return on the profit, the return on the investment. Maybe sometimes it's about, creating awareness and creating some memories for others that are going to, from that day forward, think, oh, that Terry, he is the bomb. He is the expert. So
Well, Jay, I know you have some categories on this.
I do.
Want to talk about it as well?
I'm gonna talk about a couple, but I don't want to steal the light away from you. There's a few of mine that are favorite on this list, but let's share the list and then you get to tee it up, and I'll let you kind of walk us through the list and then stop at your favorite, which I happen to highlight, so it would be a little bit more obvious for us.
Oh, very good.
I hope that's okay. So as you can see from the top of the list, right? What's at the top of the list? The king of the mountain.
T-shirts. And then, of course, long sleeve tees, sweatshirts, sweatpants, hoodies, quarter zips. We talk about all these things and in other webinars that we do. Beach towels. Obviously, how do you print a towel? You print it with water-based ink. What do we print with on DTG printers? Water-based ink. But I'm going to stop at golf towels, Jay. And the reason I'm stopping at a golf towel is this. The first time I ever saw a direct-to-garment printer print on fabric was, I'm thinking I'm heading on 17 years ago now, what? 18 years ago. I know, right here in Phoenix. You were at one company across the parking lot. Our back doors were across a parking lot from each other. We used to see each other at Munchomania for lunch. And
the good old days.
The good old days. But Scott Fresner, with the original T-Jet printer, was printing a white T-shirt, CMYK machine only. And I remember distinctly saying to him, if I were still an active screen printer, I would buy one of these machines and all I would ever print on it would be golf towels. And why did I say that? Because first of all, I was one of those screen printers who used to get orders for golf towels and pulled my hair out.
That's what caused it?
It is golf towels. And 1,000 other things.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a few thousand other details that added to that, but okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, let's think about this for a minute. Any golfer out there, they know there's a golf pro where they go and play golf, and guess what? That golf pro does not make their living from teaching you how to putt. Where does the golf pro make money? They make money in the pro shop selling products, and most importantly, for every tournament, every event they have at a golf course, where do they go to get prizes and gifts for all the golfers? They go to the pro. They go to the golf pro and say, hey, what can we give everyone? Well, what better product to give everyone than a golf towel with that full color map of the golf course?
Love that.
Put a grommet on it. You just got a grommet on it and you put the hook on it and you hang it on your golf bag. What golfer who frequents that club isn't going to buy that towel and hang it from their golf bag because it has the name of the golf course on it? They've already got that graphic. Every golf course has that map of the golf course. It says, okay, past that tree, you're going to hang a right for hole number 7, and so inexpensive to print. You're looking at maybe on an Epson direct-to-garment printer, maybe 50 cents, more like probably 25 or 30 cents to print it.
Wow.
The golf towels you buy from the Sanmars or the Alpha Broders or all these different distributors, they have a more of a plush side, and then they have kind of a smooth side. And that smooth side's where we're going to print. Now it's not perfectly smooth, so you want to make sure that your graphic has bold letters, no fine lines or anything like that. But the perfect product to go out and sell in a niche marketplace. And by the way, when you're there talking to the golf pro, hey, do you know the pro at this place and this place and this place and this place? Yes, they all know each other. Hey, would you mind if I use your name? Absolutely not. Go for it. Go out there and go forth and print golf towels. So that's mine.
I love that. And Terry, I could seriously see at an event, if you could get the approval and everything was, you had a good relationship with that particular golf course, I could see an on-site live print event, an installation, and personalizing them with sponsors and individuals' names. Because let me share. I wish I would have found. We should have coordinated. So I'm going to take the blame for this one. I wish I would have found that golf towel. But here's what I did find, because it's something that we've printed here at the shop. And so, it's not impossible for us to print something large and bold. And this one even has fine detail. So meaning it was actually a converted embroidery file, and it was a rendition of what that file might look like stitched. Someone sent that to me and I was like, this will print so great. This will make it, people will think this is embroidered. So we're going to show in another location, this same towel, and it is the one, but that's behind me. You can see the hoodie that I've done with that same American flag. So
and Jay, how many people wouldn't love to have that American flag on a golf towel?
That's right.
Hanging again from their golf ball, a bag, and it doesn't have to be for golfers. That particular towel doesn't have a grommet in it. It could be used for tennis or whatever event that you want to have. And again, water-based ink, so it's not going to have any hand, it's not going to have any feel when you wipe your face with that towel.
I love it. And well, that's a great example. So back to our list here for just a second so we can get to that. And let me share that again. So here's our list. And Terry did a wonderful job on the golf towels. I get to talk about sneakers. Now, lots of people think about shoes. They think about high tops. The canvas concept is what we're talking about specifically. And there are several knockoffs to the Converse. We have seen it all at Equipment Zone. We have seen the actual Converse shoes that people buy and print on one side, or they modify their artwork so that the circle with the Converse logo does not get printed and they print around it, which I've seen. We've also seen all of the knockoffs that are out there. Both high tops and those that are low tops can be printed. And of course, we have other videos you can watch to show the process to do that. The reason that I shared it was the impact it makes, Terry. When we've talked about this in the past and we've shared this idea, and then we go, oh, you mean this little sneaker? And people see it and they see the edge, comes close to all the way around the corner, almost. And on this side, you can see I've got a little perfect. What are these guys? Marvel characters? I always mix them up. Maybe these are the DC guys.
I think these are DC. Yeah.
Okay. Forgive me, because I'm not quite the comic book guy that you are. But the idea there is that we have an amazing and surprising product that is possible to do. It does take longer in setup. It is going to be a 30 to 40 minute project the first time you do it. As you get good at it, it might take less, but the impact is amazing. And so I'd like to share my screen again because I have another example. And the example that I have are things that we've done here in the office. So it's both. I got to give a shout out to our team of techs and sales reps who are involved in these types of things to show what's possible. But when we print these, when we used to go to trade shows and we would print them at the show, people would just be like, can I buy these? And in fact, we had people trying to just kind of walk off with them because they were so excited about them and they see the potential. And so, Terry, I'll let you speak to the potential in terms of what one might cost and what one could possibly sell. But I want people to see and understand that what I would do is I would be taking the risk of getting a pair, and I would be using these to both thank my existing client base and just completely surprise them with something crazy and custom like this. And I would come up with a theme. Maybe it would be about the holidays. Maybe it would be about something that's positive that's going on, our relationship, using their logos. And I would surprise them and I would just deliver one shoe, the left, and then I would follow up with a custom note that says, hey, when we get together next time, I can't wait to complete the set, whether that's over coffee or beverages or whatever, and really make an impact. So it leaves them, it's a teaser. You could do this for prospecting. That would be an expensive, but it would be effective because everyone would take that call. Hey, I'm the guy that dropped off the one shoe and I can't wait to meet you in person with the other shoe, get my foot in the door. There's all kinds of cliches that we could play off there.
I can't wait for the other shoe to drop, Jay.
There you go. Boom. And I know that seems cliche and a little hokey, but reality says that would stop all of the activities and you could have the attention. You've earned their attention. But I would start with my existing clients and surprise and delight. And if it were the right event and we had the time, I mean, I don't know, Terry, but based on Roy, talking to Roy in preparation for this, we still are able to find blank knockoff canvas style shoes that are easy to print under $35 a pair. So if we took our hours worth of, it would take me an hour. I don't know how long it would take you to get it all prepped and printed, but I think that we can still get $100 to $150. Correct me if I'm wrong, for a pair of these custom shoes.
No, you're exactly right. And that sample that you showed, by the way, that looked like money. Literally.
Literally, it was money. Let me share it one more time, because it is the $100 bill that we put on there, and it is intended to have that same conversation.
Well, and Jay, you know, when you talk about sending that to a customer, you know what they're going to do? They're going to smile. They're going to put, that's going to put a smile on their face. When we do trade shows, this is a showstopper. People stop in the middle of the aisle and have to come over and touch that shoe.
Yep, now, every time.
Yeah, and for decoration purposes, yeah, printing right to the edge, it does take you longer. You've got to tape all that off, but there are certainly people who print college or high school logos on these shoes where they don't even print to the edge. Your setup time there is about 0. It's just loading the shirt and printing. But Jay, my best example for these shoes is you and I are both dance dads, and everybody out there watching, we are not dancing.
We are not dancers.
Dads.
We are
fathers to dancers.
Yes, thank you for the clarity.
and paid many very high bills for costumes and things like that. If you walked into any dance studio where they teach dance and you pulled out one of these shoes, and I would probably go ahead and decorate it with their logo. You absolutely, I would say 98% have a sale. Yeah. And because every one of them teaches hip hop, and every one of those kids out there dancing in custom shoes with the name of that dance studio on them, that's price isn't an object. Obviously, Jay, price is no object with these folks.
Oh, it's part of the costume, Dad, and the costume costs $300. And you're like,
exactly right.
For 4 minutes on stage? Oh,
how many times are you going to use them?
Don't get me started.
Just once. But what a great thing. And you're right, $125 easy, and any dance studio is going to gobble these up. How many dance studios are in your town? Depending on the size of your town, even the smallest town, there's probably 3. They'll all buy this product. And that's just one example of how to take a $25 product and make $100 profit on that product. And you know, you don't put it in a heat press. Anybody wondering, you just use a heat gun that you take wallpaper off with. They're $20 at Ace Hardware, and just dry it to the touch. That shoe is probably never going to go in the washer. The reason we have to get a great cure on a heat press or a conveyor dryer is for washability. This shoe, dry it with a heat press, and you're going to be good to go. So
perfect. I love it. I love it. Let's go back to our list for just a second, if I can get there, and I can. So I'm going to share my screen again and refresh. Here we go. It's the fun part of going back and forth, Terry.
Well, and on this list that's about to pop up, Jay, aprons. We're coming into the holidays.
That's
holiday
right.
Aprons. Are you kidding me? There's a great gift ideas.
I love that.
Inexpensive to buy as a blank from your suppliers. Most all of your suppliers carry aprons.
Yeah, and by the way, there hasn't been a giant run on aprons as much as there have been on other products. So I think t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, those are the staples. Those are the things where we're struggling to find some stock, but aprons is probably available.
Exactly. Now, the next thing that I highlighted on our list here is denim jackets, and anybody viewing there can see it there in red. Beneath it is denim shirts and jeans, same category for me. Jay, it always, when we show printed denim jackets, it's just amazing how many people go, oh my gosh, you can print on denim. Well, here, newsflash, everybody out there, denim is almost always 100% cotton. And if it's not, it's a high cotton content product. That's what denim is. Prints beautifully. And so we've certainly printed denim jackets in our trade show booth. Jay, I don't even know if you're aware of this, but I had somebody walk up to me at a trade show booth several years ago who had a denim shirt on, and it was a 6X. And
wow.
Yeah. And he wasn't swimming in it. It fit him well. But he goes, I bet you can print on this. And I said, are you wearing a shirt under there? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, give it to me. And we printed, I think we printed an American flag logo like that towel on the back of his denim shirt. And
oh my goodness.
He was nearly in tears. He just loved it so much. But, you know, a 6X, no, the platen is not big enough for a 6X. but there's plenty of room to put those sleeves
Oh,
and put the body of that shirt underneath that platen. And you know, a print that size, if you have a 14 by 16 standard platen, we go to 16 by 20, but just turn that shirt sideways and get that 16-inch wide print on that giant shirt. But I am telling you, folks, if you're not printing on denim, you need to be. Jeans, denim shirts, denim jackets. They just, and here's perfect example. There's jeans with an American flag. There's a youth jacket that's from one of our DTG academies that we did live there in New Jersey.
Correct.
And just an extraordinary print. You know, a lot of folks do kind of a faded, washed out look, which looks very, very cool on this product. A bright, crisp image doesn't really jump, or I guess you don't necessarily want it to jump on that fabric as much.
Oh, right. I see your point.
That the more distressed look. Now, the flip side of that is the jeans that we see here on the screen. That is a patch file, so it literally, people would come up and scrape their finger on it thinking it was a patch sewn onto those jeans.
Isn't that awesome?
You can't use it to cover a hole in your jeans, just let me tell you that now. But
no, and in fact, we've done that, and I had other photos of the other one we've done where it's a pseudo, it looks, we specifically, I'd love to take credit for this, our artists and technicians created a print that replicated or simulated a hole, and underneath was a tattoo. So it looked like there was holes in the jeans and you could see somebody's tattoo peeking through it.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Yeah. I love it. It was one of my favorites.
And Jay, I don't want to take too long, but can I give a little inside baseball on how that was created? One of our techs, who was an awesome graphic designer, he actually took a photograph of a pair of jeans with a giant hole in them. And then he brought it into Photoshop and used all the frayed edge, and he got rid of everything else, and he cut out the center of it. So he used it as a template that he could drop anything in there. So he had we had the leg with the tattoo on it.
Yep.
He also had one where it looked like a machine leg.
Like a robot,
like a robot leg. It looked like a piston inside the
that's
patch.
cool.
And again, another product where people come up and rub their hand on it, like, is that really a hole?
Yeah. Well, that's part of I think that's the unintended consequence of having these kinds of conversations, is to push the creativity, to try to remember that, yes, denim is easily printed on, very forgiving. It's attractive. It has a higher price point. Everyone knows that a trucker jacket from Levi, by the way, Levi knows this. Levi's very familiar with DTG printing. They did their 50th anniversary of the trucker jacket. It's been now probably 6 years ago. And they contracted out with a tattoo artist, a famous tattoo artist. I'm not into tattoos. I don't know who the artist was. And they had an offer for 50 limited jackets, and they were selling for $500 each, proceeds to go to a charity. So, I mean, the great marketing is surrounding us. We just need to figure out how to apply it in our little worlds and crush it with our clients with these types of ideas.
Yeah, if you have a retail store and you're in a community and you print for your local high school, offer for just $5 for people to bring their jeans in and print that bulldog or that lion or that panther on the leg of their jeans, and it'd be a very cool promotion. It gets people into your store. Your cost of that print is maybe 25, 30 cents. They pay you $5 to put that on there, and there would be people lined up at your door with their jeans to be printed upon.
100%. They would be. Well, let's show those jeans one more time, because Terry, it's worthy. Thank you for reminding me where this photo was. We did do people were like, well, wait, you can print over the seams. Remember that? Everyone was wigging out about that.
Exactly right. And something I didn't mention, but you're exactly correct.
Yeah, and it's easier now, right? With the F3070 having the ability. So I just think that all of these are great ideas, and I'm glad that we're taking the time to do it. But we have more, so let's do that. Let's go to the next one, which is yours.
Exactly right. We're down our list, bandanas, but the one I wanted to talk about was baby onesies. And here's why I want to talk about it. First of all, there's always a market for gifts for newborns and for babies. And Jay, I have 6 grandkids, so I bought plenty of onesies over time. But here's really why I wanted to bring it up. First of all, you can make that print using like a 4x4 platen. You don't have to go out and buy a special platen. If you've got an order for a dozen onesies and that's it, that's not your market, just put some mouse pad material on top of your regular platen and lay that onesie on top of it so that the buttons and seams drop down and you can get the print head close to that image area. But if you do a lot of them, and we have a client in California, all she does is onesies on Etsy. And so she actually has an 8-up platen that has 8 4x4 platens on it. And that's all she ever uses. And so she does 8 at a time. But Jay, here's the real reason I brought it up. The Epson inks and the Epson pre-treat are certified safe for children and infant apparel.
Love it.
Now, you know, if you're out there and shopping around looking for discount ink or this or that, they're not going to be approved for youth and children and babies, infant apparel. It's just not going to be something that's available to you. But Epson, and it's right on their website, you can safely print these products and have children. They don't have to be laundered. Just they can put them right into this onesie and you're good to go.
Love it. That's a great additional reminder of the value of the testing and staying. You know, we hear the pushback, guys. We're not deaf to it. We hear the pushback of the cost of the ink, but there's a reason, and I think that's a very, very valid point and super important reason to remember. That's why we're going to stick with these Epson inks. Okay, so moving forward, let's go back to the list. Let's see if I can get there again. What's next on our list, Terry?
We have after onesies, we have baby bibs, polo shirts, and again, that 4x4 platen is a really easy way to print a polo. But if you don't do a lot, that mouse pad material on your platen, and what's it going to do? That's going to take that placket and the buttons and lower them down so that you can get close to the printable area. Face mask, Jay. You know, we thought, okay, that's over. It's not.
It's not over, is it?
It's not over. And so we have platens for the fitted face mask and for the rectangular face mask. Jay, tank tops, woven dress shirts.
Hey, guess what we're wearing today, Terry?
Exactly right.
That was the other reason I wanted to do this, because both of these have been, and you know, the fun part about this, if we can take just a minute and deviate, how many times have we been somewhere, either at a conference, a training event, or a trade show? And I know those are starting to come back around, so we'll be back, where we're standing in our booth and we're pretty proud of what we're doing, and we're wearing shirts that were actually printed with a DTG printer, exactly as opposed to what, Terry?
Well, exactly. You go to some of the booths and they're wearing embroidered shirts like this. And of course we have to rib them a little because we all know each other. We're like carnies. We travel around the country, all the same trade shows.
Mr. Carney.
But yeah, because we're competitors by day and we'll go out and have dinner together at night. But and they'll say, oh, you can't properly, print on a polo shirt. You know, you can only embroider. And we're like, no, look, it's right here.
We did it. This is it.
This is a DTG print. Oh, by
and then they come up and they look at it and they're like, wow, well, it's only going to last like 1 or 2 washes, right? And I'm like, had it for 2 years. I take mine to the dry cleaner, by the way. And, it's been great. This is a 3-year-old shirt, and I'm not exaggerating. And it's laundered several times.
I agree, Jay. And I believe mine is 3 years old as well and been laundered multiple times.
Keep talking, because I'm going to get a special
prop. Okay. Well, and Jay, and when I say, and when we say, well, we're not doing shows right now, but we still dress in our apparel for webinars. We dress in our apparel for training events that we do, that sort of thing. So yeah, these get laundered still all the time. And Jay, how many times, and this is what I thought you were going to say, was how many times somebody walk in the booth and they, do you mind if I touch your shirt? And
they
do. To rub the print.
It's true. It comes up. So the point that I wanted to also share is this next one on the list. So I went and grabbed a sample that I was excited to share because this was something that we tried to do I want to say 4 years ago, and it has special meaning to me because it's been signed, but I want people to see it close. So can you see that well, Terry?
Absolutely. Looks good.
And what is this? What am I showing? I'm showing a tote bag. And the reason that it's important to me is I got to meet this speaker. His name's Jesse Itzler. And when he saw it, guess what he did?
He said, I have to have one.
He said, not only does he have to have one, he said, I have to have 4. And I'm going to take them back, one for my wife and one at the time for his other 3 kids. Jesse's married to Sarah Blakely, Terry, and Sarah Blakely is the founder of Spanx. And these two are like the coolest power couple. I've only met him. Jesse was amazing, but this is a photograph. This is a full color print with white. And then he signed it for me. Check it out. Do you see it?
Absolutely. It says, move it over. There you go. Wow. Thanks so much, Jesse. And you know, people are in awe of that. And a lot of our clients think, well, a tote bag, you know, it's the texture is so rough. I'm not going to get that great print, but that's a photograph on there. And you know, Jay, you talk about selling to church events, and they want T-shirts. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Say that again. I'm sorry. It broke up right
when you talk about sometimes about when like a church will come and order T-shirts.
Oh, right. Yeah. So this is a perfect point, is that not everybody really, the truth and the reality is not everybody wants a T-shirt. Not everybody is feeling comfortable in a T-shirt, either because they just don't, right? I'm not going to get into specifics. I think everybody knows what I mean when I say not everybody's comfortable in a T-shirt. It may not be the perfect or the appropriate point to say, hey, let's do some shirts. Other than that, this is as useful, if not more useful, to have a tote bag. And I'm a big fan of these because, yes, this is holding up. This doesn't require any special treatment. It was done just as other products would be done. You know, we followed the prescription, but we also have tote bags because they're great utility tools in carrying other things like books, obviously, like groceries, but also the other things we sell, Terry. So why not try to bundle up, surprise and delight, and say, hey, for $22, we're going to have your shirts done on time and have them be amazing. But for $26, I can bundle them all up into a tote bag. And guess what? They're going to be like, wait, I get 2 products for only that much more. And the reality is you can find tote bags that are affordable, and you can do a CMYK print on it. And yes, they are going to be properly cured and be wash tested and stick around. The images don't wash away. And so you've really been able to maximize your imprint, your value that you bring to the table, your expertise as a marketer. And if someone wasn't as enchanted with the T-shirt, there's a higher probability that that person's going to be equally as pleased with that tote bag. I hope that's the point that you were trying to get me to.
That was exactly it. And Jay, as I recall, when you were at that, was that the event where you were personalizing on the other side?
Yes, we actually were doing these live. It was our first. We try really, really hard to walk the walk. We try, if we're going to make this claim, we better have tried it and done it and had some success. We can also speak to it in first person. So yes, we went down to Tucson for this event, and we set up the printers, and we were printing live on site, and we were doing both. We did some of the bags ahead of time because they were some of the bags that were given out at the event to the audience, but we were also printing live. It was this time of year 3 years ago. It was October, and we were doing personalized Halloween bags, which for this time of year is perfect.
Exactly right. Exactly right. You know, Jay, in our upcoming article in Graphics Pro, we have a photograph of a fall dark. It was a navy
Dark
bag
navy,
that was pre-treated, printed with a white underbase and with a really cool fall graphic, and really a great add-on item for many of our clients out there who don't necessarily think about either printing on or they think I've got to print on a natural fiber. You don't have to. You can also print on the color fabric as well. So.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and when we talk about tote bags, I have a freshman at NAU, and I started looking on the Sanmar website because I wanted to be kind of up to speed on what's available, both for the article that we just wrote as well as for this webinar today. And I was reminded that in their tote bag section, they had other bags that were of high cotton content or 100% cotton. So easy for the DTG printer. We don't have to get into transfers yet. We'll save that for another webinar. That's coming, folks. Don't you fret. Don't you worry. We've got it dialed out and we're ready. But in addition to that, I found laundry bags, and I thought of every college freshman, every college student having a cool laundry bag with their name on it. That could be a fundraiser. That could be something fun. That could be a sorority project, you know?
Oh, sure.
So, I mean, it's also addressing ideas where if the t-shirts and the hoodies are out of stock, what's in stock, right? How can I get creative and come up with something that's going to make the impact I want, something that I can print, still be profitable? And laundry bags might be it. Who knew? Or stadium blankets.
Yeah, my Ohio University laundry bag was part of starting my freshman year. So
you still have it?
I probably don't, but who knows? I have a lot of crates in my garage. So.
It would be a relic of the past. It might even be worth something at this point, Terry.
Could be. It would be from the 70s, Jay.
Would you get a special license plate that says historic product? Like a historic vehicle?
I certainly would. Since I graduated from college in 1978. Yeah.
Oh boy. You didn't have to date yourself. You know, there are a lot of folks listening live, and hundreds and hundreds more are going to watch this later. And Terry, that's okay. We appreciate you for being the seasoned veteran of experience, the DTG expert that you are. And I thought we would wrap this up with, let's not discount the t-shirt. It was at the top of the list, Terry, but what would you like to say in closing with the t-shirts?
Well, I mean, there's 1,000 opportunities. There's some really cool effects you can do on t-shirts. I was mentioning the kind of faded look, that sort of thing. But don't discount the t-shirt, and make sure you give your customers some color options so that when you go to your supplier and they say, gosh, we're a little low on royal. Well, how about scarlet, or how about navy, or how about this? And make sure you give your customers some opportunities there as well.
I love this. And I'm going to give a shout out and the credit where credit is due. This is on our Facebook group, the users group that we have, which is a closed group, it's a private group. So for owners and operators of the F2100, we have a Facebook group. If you're not part of that group and you would like to be, let me know. So these were from Elizabeth's Tees. So she has a retail store and she does a lot of online, and these were just like perfect. I mean, timely. Awesome. And the graphics are great. And she staged them up, made them look Instagram worthy, as the kids say, Terry. So I wanted to give a shout out to that great, fine company. And then that's really all we have today. So I think we covered our top 25 list. If there's anything else, Terry, that you want to say besides, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, or for more information, you can find us here. Terry, what would you like to wrap us up with?
Well, if you have any questions about anything we talked about today, reach out to myself or Jeff Baxter or Amy Krulowitz here that you see on the screen. We're happy to talk to you about it. If you need any help with, hey, I don't know how to print this product or that, you're certainly welcome to reach out to our support department as well. And our techs, we talked about this last week as well. They are DTG specific. So chances are pretty good if you have a question about any product or any fabric that you're wanting to print on, they've probably done it.
And Terry, I saved one more sample for last. I'm a big hat guy, as most people know, but I'm not a big unconstructed dad hat. These are the hats that are like low profile, have no structure. They're really easy to print. So I love them for that. But I thought I'd zoom in and share with you a couple of the samples that we've done over the years and let people see the detail of what's possible. That's the side of the hat. You can print on the bill. You can see what's possible here. I know this is kind of weird because it's kind of zoomed in and you might not see it perfectly, but Terry, what do you think about the detail on the bill of that hat?
It's fabulous. And I think that that folks who think you can only get that detail on a really smooth front t-shirt, there's lots of cool things you can do. So, you know, Jay, you and I are big experimenters. So get out there and try some new things and try some different products and different fabrics and see what you can get ahead of the pack with.
Well, great session today. I'm grateful for everyone who's tuned in. Yes, this was recorded. It will be on our YouTube page if you want to watch it again, or if you have others that you would like to invite, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're grateful for those that have tuned in, but mostly for Terry's experience, our seasoned veteran and our DTG expert. So thanks again, Terry. It's been a great webinar, and I will say then goodbye.
I see everybody next time.
See you then. Take care.